Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and we're going to be looking at agility in social media and how to stay on trend. Alright, and the learning objectives for this video are to learn the definition of agility and how it applies to social media, to learn about different tools within social media, to learn about various social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, to learn about building an audience, to learn about influencer marketing, and to look at multiple different examples of businesses using influencers to market their brand and products. So, a simple definition of agility is the ability to move quickly and easily. So, within social media in the corporate world, agility is attributed to adaptable, nimble footed organization, re engineering, and refining operations based on market compulsions to fulfill its strategic goals and objectives. So, in short, agility is when an individual or company will quickly adjust to meet the wants and needs of consumers or an audience. This basically means staying on trend. There are numerous different tools ingrained in social media platforms that make staying on trend easy, effective, and influential. Here are some basic tools provided on nearly every major social media platform. Hashtags are commonly used specific and unique keywords that make content more discoverable on social media platforms and helps to engage with other users based on a common theme or interest. So by clicking on a hashtag, you will be directed to every other social media post using the same hashtag. Hashtags are mostly used on platforms like Twitter and Instagram, and that's where a lot of posts gain a lot of traction. Likes are a form of social media engagement which allows for users to interact with posts and show approval of content, and this is probably most prevalent on platforms like Instagram. Comments allow for written communication and expression of opinions, thoughts, and concerns. While this is prevalent on probably every platform, one that comes to mind especially is Twitter. And then sharing its engagement where the post is directly sent to other individuals, which allows for a greater audience reach and awareness of content. So, as technology has become increasingly popular, especially with the growth of the use of iPhones, there are a ton of social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn. There are just a ton of platforms. And social media can help companies, especially, engage with customers and find out what people are saying about businesses. Social media can also be used for advertising, marketing, promotional giveaways. Social media platforms can also have a bunch of other uses, such as attracting customers, getting customer feedback, building customer loyalty, increase market reach, such as international markets, do market research, reduce marketing costs by marketing on social media, which is arguably almost free, increasing revenue by building networks and advertising, developing a brand name, exchanging ideas to help improve businesses, recruiting skilled staff through networking sites such as through the pandemic, working from home. People no longer have to commute to work. They can stay at home and pretty much work from anywhere in the world. Increase traffic to company website, especially if it's linked on social media profiles. And it also allows for companies to easily keep an eye on competitors, what competitors are doing, what they're marketing, stuff like that. Alright, so we're going to start looking at different platforms, and the first one we're pretty familiar with, it's Twitter. So as you know, Twitter is an app, and you have a limited amount of characters, and you can type a little message and tweet it. So businesses can use Twitter. They can introduce their brand in an inclusive and interactive manner. So to be relevant on Twitter, you would constantly tweet, you would want to stay active, you would want to use relevant and trending hashtags, so that could apply to your business, it could apply to current events and trends. You can organize an event through Twitter, you could use polls, you could use influencers that are correct for your brand. So there are multiple influencers on Twitter who are either big on other platforms that also have a Twitter, and they could easily market your product on Twitter, either by adding you, using hashtags, adding an image. You can create and subscribe to lists. So just like for our class, you can make a list of influencers, followers who are newer, frequent retweeters and commenters, people from chats or events, and coworkers, so that they're more likely to interact and see your tweet. So the next platform we're going to talk about is Instagram, and I would argue that Instagram is probably the most prevalent social media platform regarding marketing and influencers and brands. Pretty much every popular creator has something to do with marketing on their page. The Kardashians, they have marketed even arguably things that are terrible for you, like they're like weight loss teas. There are plenty of fitness influencers that market specific like diets or like products that honestly don't work, but because they're famous on Instagram and people see what they look like, they want to look like that. So they will be, tempted to buy that product. So for a company to have a platform on Instagram, they would create high quality content that stands out. You want to make people pause and engage because everyone can post any picture. So you want something that's going to stand out to people, especially if they're just like mindlessly scrolling. You want to use trending and relevant hashtags. So just like on Twitter, hashtags are a big part of Instagram. You can create your own branded hashtag, and that can drive awareness of your company, and that can also build a strong community where people can easily find you. You can work with influencers, like I previously said. You can tag specific locations, such as if a company, has their own store. You can tag other accounts, like other brands, influencers you're working with. A big thing about Instagram is you want to get your timing right. So you want to post when people are going to be most active, who are most likely to engage with your post. You can use captions to drive engagement. So like in your caption, you can include a question or prompt to ask the audience to leave a comment about the post. So you're likely to get more comments, more engagement, more shares, even more likes, because people are engaging with your post through comments. Alright, so the last platform we're going to specifically talk about is TikTok. And TikTok especially has shown a lot of growth and usage, especially over the pandemic. So a lot of things become trendy and then they're out of trend really, really fast. So trends do not last long on TikTok. There are some specific influencers who have really made it big on TikTok, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So for a company to make a platform on TikTok, they would want to follow trends that extend your brand's reach. And you would also want to follow trends that are relevant, relatable, and seen as like cool or trendy. And there are multiple different types of specific TikTok trends, like dancing, challenges, songs, sounds, and filters or specific types of editing. And you kind of want to be unique. You want to determine your own look and feel, be authentic, and you can even try to launch your own trends. Brands could become more influential by doing this. They can become more, just like extraordinary, because anyone can make a TikTok video and that doesn't mean it's going to be great. So if a brand really put time and effort into making themselves authentic and unique, they would really stand out on a platform like TikTok. So there are multiple ways a brand can build an audience through staying on trend on different platforms. So they can stick to what they know and look at current audience preferences. So what trends are the audience they have now following? What is blowing up on their social media? So they can look at preferences like priorities of their audience, engagement habits, buying behaviors, favorite pricing, social media activity, other details of the current audience to form some commonalities. So any trends that they are following, if a brand hops on this trends, it's almost a guarantee that they'll get some kind of audience from that. So when following trends, brands can try to hold contests, include visuals with every post, share more videos, be proactive in listening to and responding to the online community they have created, be authentic and entertaining, and keep up to date with important current events. So now we're going to take at influencer marketing, and arguably influencers are probably the biggest proprietors of trends. So influencer marketing is defined as a type of social media marketing that uses endorsements and product mentions from influencers, which are individuals who have a dedicated social following and are viewed as experts within their niche. So the only constant in influencer marketing is change, and this applies across multiple platforms, including all of the ones we've talked about, which are Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So because influencers play a large part in not only participating in, but also creating trends, they probably have a better grasp on what is trending and what agility in social media is currently than brands do. So when brands use influencers, they probably have a more effective chance at reaching actual trends and therefore reaching a greater audience that are watching those specific trends. If a brand were to use influencers, a very simple plan for them to follow could be to find influencers and determine what to pay them, set a budget and management strategy, decide on goals and the message they want to portray, influencer outreach, how would they contact influencers, and then they would review and refine their strategy for marketing. Next, we're going to look at some specific examples of influencers used for marketing. So the first influencer we're going to look at is Emma Chamberlain, and she began as a YouTuber, and she got really, really popular in YouTube and then expanded to other platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and basically she was really involved in stuff like fashion and even coffee and stuff like that. So now she has her own coffee brand, which she promotes on her social media, and especially in fashion, she has been seen in multiple different other companies and brands. So multiple fashion brands have taken Emma Chamberlain and used her in their marketing. On the very left, PacSun is a very popular brand among younger people. Emma Chamberlain is Gen Z. She's 20, I believe, so she is also in the same age group as people buying PacSun. In the middle, she's seen wearing Louis Vuitton. That's a luxury brand, so it really shows just how in-depth fashion is going. So she's been on the red carpet at the Met Gala. She wore Louis Vuitton. So it's really interesting to see how even luxury brands like Louis Vuitton are working with influencers in their marketing. So on the very right, she's seen head to toe wearing Levi's. So Levi's is not only an incredibly popular brand, but jeans itself are an American fashion staple. And a big thing with Levi's right now is their campaign for sustainability. So Emma Chamberlain is actually a big thrifter, big secondhand clothes wearer. She promotes that a lot in her videos, in her fashion. So it's really interesting to see how all these different levels of fashion brands are working with influencers. So the next influencer is Charli D'Amelio, and she is absolutely blown up over the course of the pandemic. She posted a video of herself dancing on TikTok, and she blew up to other platforms. On the very left, she's seen with her sister Dixie. They're wearing Hollister, and they actually now have their own line with Hollister, which is crazy. She started out posting a video of herself on TikTok, and now not only is she working with Hollister, but she has her own clothing line with Hollister, which is incredibly popular among younger people. So another thing she became known for was her love for Dunkin' Donuts and coffee. So she got her own drink multiple times at Dunkin'. It was on the menu. It was under her name. So Dunkin' definitely used her in their marketing. And then on the very right, Morphe is a makeup company, and her sister both got their own little collection through them. So especially in current times, she's a prime example of companies using influencers in their marketing. So going back to the idea of sustainability, Starbucks especially is a company that tried to cater to their audience. So when like the big thing about plastic straws in the oceans and turtles came out a few years ago, Starbucks especially stepped up to try to cater to their audience. So they included like sippy lids for their drinks, for their iced drinks and their hot drinks. And recently I've even gotten a few paper straws from them. So that's something I haven't really heard about, but I've definitely gotten paper straws from them. So it looks like they're once again attempting to cater to that desire for sustainability. So on this slide, here are some additional resources for staying on top of industry trends and benefits to business if you wanted to read about either of those. And here are all the sources I used within my presentation. So thank you very much for watching. All right, bye.